Good evening. This is the Thursday, May 15th, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission for the City of Sebastian. Call to order. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Roberts is absent. Ms. Matthews?
Present.
Chair Kotlenberg?
Here.
Mr. Carter?
Present.
Ms. LaRusso is absent. Mr. Reno?
Here.
Ms. Battles?
Here.
Ms. Kinchin is absent. Ms. Geesley?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our announcement for this evening is that Commissioners LaRusso, Kinchin, and Roberts are excused from tonight's meeting, and Mr. Terry Reno will be voting with us. Commissioners, you've all had an opportunity to review the minutes of our last meeting. If you have any additions or corrections, please bring them forward.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of the May 15th, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
I'll second the motion correcting the date that it's the May 1st, 2025 minutes.
Oh, May. I stand corrected, May 1st.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No opposed? Thank you very much. Okay. I am hereby opening our public hearing.
Good evening. This is a public hearing on proposed ordinance number 02512, an ordinance of the City of Sebastian, Florida, which revises Land Development Code Article 5 zoning district regulations by amending the townhouse dimensional regulations within the RM8 medium density multifamily residential 8 dwelling units per acre and RM10 medium density multifamily residential 10 dwelling units per acre zoning districts, providing for severability, conflicts, codification, scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Okay. This hearing is brought to us by our planning department, and I would ask them now to make a presentation.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Jim Mann. I'm with the Community Development Department here at the City of Sebastian. I have a PowerPoint presentation related to the item presented tonight. So this is a Land Development Code text amendment, ordinance number 2512, kind of related to the townhome dimensional regulations in the residential multifamily 8 units per acre, also known as RM8, and the residential multifamily 10 units per acre, also known as the RM10. So a little bit of a background of this text amendment. In 2001, the residential multifamily RM8 was created, and townhome dimensional regulations were established in 2001. And in 2021, with the approval of the 2040 comprehensive plan and our policies, we created the residential multifamily 10 units per acre, also known as RM10. And this was to basically be created for the policies that were adopted in the 2040 comprehensive plan. And with some recent submittals and trends that we have seen with the townhome regulations and submittals that we've seen for pre-application conferences, we've kind of noticed that our RM8 and RM10 seems a little too restrictive for what is being proposed. We have had a few applications come in, and we're kind of revising and advising some of the applicants what we would want to do to kind of help them along for the development of their projects. And so we've come up with a few different things to address in our land development code. With the RM8 and the RM10, we're proposing to kind of reduce the width of the lot from 25 feet to 20 feet. We will also, with that, increase the depth of the lot from 75 feet to 90 feet. To kind of coincide with the code currently, we have a maximum square footage for the lot size, or minimum square footage of the lot size from 1,875 square feet. We would kind of reduce it to 1,800 square feet to kind of keep it in that ballpark of that 1,875 and not, trickle down and be a little bit lower. And kind of as like a visual representation of what the 20-foot lots would look like, I've kind of shown this rendering on the bottom of what a sixplex townhome design would look like with the 20-foot lots. And also with just the text amendment for RM8, this is just for the RM8 zoning district, we would have reduced the side setback from 10 feet to 5 feet and increase the distance requirements between the two buildings of the townhome or sixplex, fourplex, whatever they design, from 15 feet to 20 feet to kind of give that bigger buffer. And as you can see on the right-hand side, there's a little bit of a diagram to kind of show you what that would look like. And for the RM10 text amendment, we kind of saw some administrative things that didn't happen with the original adoption of the RM10. We had some footnotes in the actual dimension regulation table that actually did not make it into the code itself. So we're kind of finished kind of doing an administrative correction on that. And as you can see in front of you, those are the corrections that we're introducing into the code now. So recommendation from staff is, a favorable recommendation for the city council to approve. The first reading at city council will be held June 11th, 2025. And if you have any questions of me, I'm here. I'm an open book.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any public input? I don't see anyone here in our audience. Do we have anyone on Zoom?
Nobody's raised their hand.
I think we can assume that what you just did is your summary, so we'll go to close the hearing and have commission deliberations and actions. We'll start with you.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chairman. I don't really have any specific questions, just something that I have mixed feelings about this. As far as changing it, to me, it seems that we're going to be allowing more density per area. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, technically the density would still remain the same. We're just allowing them to kind of come in with a different dimensional size criteria to kind of allow it to be a little bit more affordable, because, currently the 25 width lot and then the 75-foot depth kind of creates a different dynamic of what a townhome design could be. And I think with the decrease in size or the width of the lot and the lengthening of it can increase maybe the affordability of some of these townhomes.
Well, if history is any indication of that, they'll still be just as expensive.
Yeah, hopefully not.
So anyway, that's just a concern that I have, that by allowing more, we're actually going to be, and certainly I have no problem with company making profit, but we're not actually lowering prices, making them more affordable.
And I mean, most of the regulations will remain the same within the actual zoning criteria and the development criteria. So it's just kind of, we've noticed this as more of like, this is the model of the townhome developments nowadays. They're kind of making them thinner and longer. And we kind of wanted to kind of help, provide development within the city for our, density requirements for multifamily for our comprehensive code or plan. And we would help, developers, obtain that ability to develop those townhomes.
Okay.
I can also add, Mr. Carter, for the density. So remember, our medium density residential, we increased with the comp plan, the new comp plan, it went from 8 units per acre to 10 units per acre.
Right.
But if you're zoned RM8, you can still only have 8 units per acre. So the townhouse change with, yes, they are smaller. It does accommodate probably mostly RM10 is where this is really going to benefit, because they now will be able to possibly reach that 10 units per acre. And we were having projects come in saying, for the cost it's going to be for the townhouses, unless we can get that much density in the 10 units, or and using this 20-foot wide footprint, we've kind of seen some of the. You'll know we still only have one townhouse project on Schumann in Sebastian, because we're not finding that, they were finding it hard to meet our dimensional regulations to bring a townhouse project in.
Well, and
But the
that's
density does stay
fair
the same.
statement, yeah. And, it's certainly, I think, it's been my position, I know several other members on the board over the last several years, that we want to get more affordable housing in the city. 'Cause the people who work here can't afford to live here. So, anyway, I just want to make a general comment. Thank you.
Ms. Kesey?
I'm generally never excited about making a lot smaller or changing setbacks, but this does not seem extreme. And I'll always defer to staff because they are very, very smart. I had one question. On page 2, it says minimum living area 900 square feet. So that's not changing, correct?
Correct, that is not changing.
And that makes me wonder, if the square footage is the same, is that significantly going to reduce the cost of the units? I mean, it's not. I don't know that 75 square feet on the entire lot is going to significantly make those units affordable, especially given that it's still 900 square feet. So that's my concern.
Okay, Mr. Reno?
Yeah, I'm just curious what you use for similar municipalities for criteria.
Our original, the code that we adopted to establish them in 2001 was Satellite Beach. We used them as a template. So that was my first municipality to go back to see if they had changed theirs from the original 25 that we had emulated back in 2001. And they have dropped theirs down to 15 to 18 foot wide townhouses. But we did do Satellite Beach, Melbourne. Indian River County did not have specific dimensions on their lot width. You would just refer to density. And I believe it was Port St. Lucie or Stewart were one of the other ones. We had pulled up a lot of codes. A lot of people didn't have specific dimensions. But yeah, Satellite Beach had dropped theirs down between 15 and 18 feet wide.
What's the difference between a side setback and a side interior setback?
So the side interior setback is basically the setback requirements in between the buildings themselves, like wall to wall. Then the side setback would be the individual end property line with the setback requirement for that property line.
Are you able to pull up that from your PowerPoint again?
We can actually, I can pull that up. It was in the diagram earlier in this slide. So if you see here, the two circled numbers on the right diagram, one of them is indicating the 5-foot setback requirement on the side property line. And then the other circle of the 20, that's the 20-foot separation side setback
So if it's up
requirement.
against another building, it's going to be 20 feet. If it's like an end unit, it's going to be 5 feet from like a sidewalk or from the road.
From the side property line, yes.
Of the platted
Of the-
townhouse lot.
Thank you.
Ms. Matthews?
I think I'm good right now.
So I'm generally in favor of all of this. I think, like you mentioned, there's no change in density, but it allows for more flexibility and options for developers to come in and provide, houses in our community. So generally, I think this is a good idea.
Okay.
I'm in favor.
I concur with the rest of the panel here. I don't have any concerns. The change is insignificant in reality, but I think the perception of the change is important for us. So I don't have any problem with this either, and I will call for a motion. Oh, wait a minute. No, we can call for a motion.
I'll make a motion to suggest support to council for the Land Development Code Amendment Ordinance 02512, amending Article 5 to the Townhouse Dimensional Regulations.
I second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Voice vote, please. I mean, roll call vote. Sorry.
Sorry. Ms. Cottenberg?
Yes.
Ms. Matthews?
Yes.
Mr. Reno?
Yes.
Ms. Geezy?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Battles?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have no quasi-judicial, no unfinished business, no new business.
Chairman, I was going to say before you adjourn, but that's fine. We just want to thank you guys. The last couple of meetings have been very short. Thank you for coming in for such short meetings. And we didn't get a chance in our announcements. I wanted to introduce Bridget Akins. She is a new assistant to our city clerk. She will be joining us on our meetings and doing our minutes for us. So we wanted to welcome her. This was her first week and her first meeting.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, and now this is the real adjournment. Thank you all.